What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm James Wolf Camp Reviews. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm down here at the lake. Beautiful day out. I have my Newair 48 quart fridge freezer that Newair was kind enough to send out to me. So I've been using it for a little bit. I wanted to make sure I used it and tested it out before I shared it with you guys and recommended it. This thing is a beast. It has two different zones in it, so you can set temperatures for each zone if you wanted to. But actually, you know what? Let me just show you. All right, so we got the 48 quart fridge freezer from Newair here. You can see the lid is one solid piece. It has this nice little clamp here. You just lift up on it and the lid will lift open. Looking at the lid, we actually got a cutting board with this thing. Just slide that out of the way. And you get yourself a nice little cutting board, probably, I don't know, 10 inches maybe long by 8 or 9 inches. But you get a nice little cutting board. Put it back. So you always have that with you. If you need to cut anything, use it as a plate. You can use this thing for a lot. Usually if you're gonna have a cooler and bring food with you, you're gonna need a cutting board for something. Over here, you just have an empty space, nothing really going on. And then down here is where you get both of your settings, your zones, I should say. You get nice baskets for each one. So you take the basket out, it's pretty nice depth there. And this one's really big. You get two lights on the inside. There's one here, and you get one on this side. And then you notice way down there is a drain plug. So if you need to clean anything, you just take it out, pop it right open, and it'll drain out for you. So if you need to spray this down on the inside, wash it out, you get meat spilt in here, anything, that's there. If you want to throw ice in here, you can throw ice in here. Drain the water out if you needed to, if you don't have any power supply to power this thing, which I'm currently powering this thing right now. Other side, I have this plugged in DC. Let me show you. Bring you around. I have this plugged in right now to my Blue Eddy. I don't have it on right now, I just have it plugged in. I'll turn it on a little bit and I'll show you the different settings and everything you can do with it. But I have my Blue Eddy charging up via solar right now. So back to the fridge. All right, so you get your nice setting, two big zones in here. The freezer, nice size. You know, you have your compressor underneath down here, which, let me show you the outside, because the outside is actually really nice on this. So obviously you can see the wheels here, which makes this thing easy and very portable. It's easy to carry around with you. Actually, you don't even have to carry it. You can wheel it around with you. You get a nice big handle here. So you can lift up on it to pick it up, put it in your truck. You can pull this thing out, and this thing actually extends out. So down here you have little clamps, one on each side. I'm gonna put the camera down a second. You need two hands, so you push them down at the same time, and it unlocks. And then once you have it out, it'll lock in place. Once you pull it out all the way, and it makes this a lot easier. You don't have to bend down far to wheel it around. It makes it a lot easier on your back. Going to the other side here, you got a nice bottle opener for all you beer drinkers. You have another handle here, which is nice. It's plastic, but it holds up pretty good. Haven't had any issues with it yet. Been lifting it up and down the stairs of my house, throwing it up and down in my truck. Down here, this thing's actually powered by an LG compressor. So there's a nice compressor in this, nice and quiet, very reliable. LG compressors are in a lot of appliances, your bigger appliances, so you're not gonna have any issues with this compressor. There is a warranty on this, so if you end up having an issue for whatever reason, they will warranty it out. You just gotta contact them, and they have really good customer service. They'll help you guys out. This is currently plugged in DC, like I said. It does come with the AC cable. This plugs the same exact spot, and you get your wall outlet with that. And it's a little brick here. Putting that aside, you can see this port here, it says solar. They actually sell a solar kit for this, so you could buy a solar panel and plug it directly into this and leave it out and have your fridge run off of a solar panel. Or you take this little thing off, and there's actually a battery that you can get that'll power your fridge without you needing an external power source. You don't have to plug it into a Jackery, a Blue Eddy, any solar generator. You don't have to plug it into your car. You can literally just put the battery in and throw a solar panel on it, and the solar panel will keep this battery charged. Or if you wanted to and you had a smaller solar generator, like a Jackery 300, a smaller Blue Eddy, I don't remember any of the other brands out there, but you could have that power this, and if you're worried about it, it'll keep this battery charged. So if you lose your portable solar generator, you'll have this as a backup, and then you can plug the solar into this and it'll just charge this battery and keep it going. And I'm pretty sure this battery, I want to say it runs it for like 6 hours. So you'll get another 6 hours after your smaller solar generator dies, which makes this thing an awesome little extra tool to have. Or if you're just going on a little day trip down to the lake, doing a little fishing, you're going to the beach, anything like that, this thing will be perfect. You don't have to worry about bringing any cables, no cords, no plugging anything in, just putting the battery in and turning it on, you're good to go. Or if you want to use this for storage to put your extra cables in there, in the meantime, you absolutely could do that. All right, so one cool feature about this lid is you can take it off. I'm doing this one-handed. You see there's little notches in here on both sides. They have one there, and these are little slots up and down and up and down. So what you do is there's two little nubs, one on either side of this. As you take it, put your nub in on the one side, and then on the slotted side, just slides down. Now it doesn't open from this side, it'll open from this side. Now, what's the point of having that? Well, say I had it in my truck here and I have it on this side. If I had a cap on this or anything, obviously you don't want to be opening up from here. Or if I didn't have a cap on it and I wanted to open up from here, I could do this. It just makes it storing in your vehicle a lot easier. If you have an SUV, you can make it open up to whatever side is more convenient for you. You have your powers out here, so you can leave your power out, put it on either side, and then access it from the truck. Or if you have, like I said, an SUV and you have it in the back, you can have it facing whichever way is more convenient and easier for you to get to. All right, so looking at the controls here, hopefully you'll be able to see this. The sun's glaring over here right now. You have a power button, a setting button. You have two little diagrams here. This one's showing you the inside of the freezer. So this setting here, actually let me turn this on, just hold the power button down. So this display here, this temperature setting is going to be for the smaller zone, the freezer. And this temperature setting is going to be for the fridge. And then you see the battery here that it's drawing from. The battery's full. I have it set in Fahrenheit. There's an H and eco. We'll go over that in a second. Then you get your minus and your plus, and you actually get a USB port. So if you have this thing running off the solar, your solar generator, however you're powering this, your vehicle, you could plug your phone into this and charge your phone up. You could plug your camera battery into this and plug your charge your battery up. Any USB you can put in here and it will charge up. So if you run out of ports on your solar generator, your portable power, you have another little USB slot here to throw whatever it is you need into it. All right, so going back to eco and this H here. So there's two settings. You could either set the compressor to eco mode, which will use less battery, or you could turn it into max mode. And how you do that is you just tap the little setting here and tap it one more time, and it'll switch over to max. And you can just tap it, switch it back to eco. So what I normally do is I'll get this going inside the house. I'll have this plugged into the house for an hour or two, let the temperatures and the fridge get to temperature before I put all my stuff in it and go on my camping trip, or I come down to the beach, whatever it is I'm doing. I let this get to temperature first, and then once I switch it over to my portable battery, my Blue Eddy, which I have only Blue Eddies, I will switch it over to eco, so it's not drawing as much power. It's a little bit more forgiving on the temperature, so that way it's not draining my portable battery quicker. All right, and then the H. So there's 3 different settings on this fridge. If you're plugging this into your vehicle, you want to utilize these settings. It pretty much, what these settings are doing is it's telling the fridge how much power it could draw before your voltage gets too low on your car battery. So obviously you don't want to keep this plugged into your car. If your car is off, it'll drain the battery on your vehicle, and then you won't be able to turn your car back on. And just so you guys know, this is not flashing in person. It's just because of the camera. Sorry about that. I don't know why I wasn't doing it before, but now it's doing it. So to change these settings, you just hold down the settings button instead of tapping it. There we go. And then once it's flashing, you can switch it low, medium, and high. I just leave it on high. I have it plugged into a solar generator, so it's not affecting me at all. I'm not having any issues with it draining my car battery. So getting to these settings here for your internal zones, your fridge and your freezer, these can go down very low. So to start changing the settings on these 2, all you do is either select the plus or the minus, and one of them will start flashing. That's the one you're going to be changing. So if you want to turn this one down, don't forget this is the fridge, so this is the bigger side. So you can hold it down, set it to, I don't know, 34 degrees, and then that'll kick on. Now if you want to switch to the other side, the freezer, just tap the setting button, because this one's blinking already, and you're accessing this side now. So we'll hold this down and bring it down. Let's see, we'll go to 0 degrees, or we can even go less than that, which you wouldn't really need to, but just to show you guys, it'll go down to -4 degrees. So we'll set it to 0, and again, that's the smaller side, highlighted here in white. And once that stops blinking, it will turn on in a second. You can see the voltage drop because this did turn on. I felt it kick on, and it'll start doing its thing. All right, so why do I recommend this fridge? Well, like I said, Newair sent this to me, and I've been using it for a little while now. I've been testing it hard, coming down to the lake every day, doing a bunch of fishing, keeping a bunch of drinks in here, throwing some ice cream in the freezer just to test that out. Past couple days, it's been a little chilly, so I haven't really been able to test out the freezer, but prior to that, it was actually in the 70s. So I had this thing running. I left it out just like this in the sun, letting the sun beat on this thing just to make sure that this can keep up the temperature, and it did. No ice cream melted, everything stayed intact. Didn't even tell a difference, you know, between this and my freezer inside. This thing was super cold. I had this thing plugged in before I got down here at my house for 2-3 hours, just let it get cold, and then I came down here and tested it out. I was down here for several hours, you know, fishing, just hanging out, enjoying the weather, and it lasted. I had no issues. It barely drained any of my Blue Eddy EB70 battery. Barely brought down any battery at all after I got down here. I had it down, I don't know, on my Blue Eddy it only shows 5 little battery levels. It doesn't really show a percentage, so I can't really tell you how much percentage it dropped it, but it still had a full battery, full 5 bars on it while I had it down here. Haven't taken this thing camping yet, but just from the experience and use that I've had with it so far, it's held up great. This is actually going to be my new favorite fridge freezer to bring down because it has the dual zones. Now I have other fridge freezers that I could set either to a freezer or to a fridge, but I can't do both. So when I go camping on an extended camping trip for more than a day or 2, and I want to bring meat with me, I don't want to just leave it in the fridge for 3 or 4 days before I eat it. I have this nice little compartment now. I can set this down to 0 degrees, keep the meat frozen until I'm ready to use it, so the meat does not go bad. Now, another positive to having a fridge freezer like this is the fact that I don't have to worry about ice melting. You know, I don't have to worry about my cooler anymore. I don't have to worry about topping my ice off. I don't have to worry about my meat going bad. You know, I don't buy meat to throw it in a cooler, let the ice melt because I'm out on the river all day, and come back and my meat's just saturated and, you know, swimming in a pool of ice water. Even the leftovers, you throw leftovers in your cooler, the ice melts if you don't have enough time to, you know, get more ice because it's 100 degrees outside. and you're out busy all day enjoying your trip, you know, your leftovers get destroyed. Now you don't have any leftovers to eat or bring home or whatever you're doing with them. So highly recommend getting this Newair fridge. I'm going to have the link below to this fridge, to their website if you guys are interested. If you guys have this fridge, let me know what you guys think. And if you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it. Like I said, this thing is going to replace a cooler. Yes, it's a little pricey, but it's not any different than buying a Yeti cooler. You know, you're going to buy quality. You can either go to Walmart and get a little $20 cooler, worry about getting ice every couple of hours, you know, because ice melting, it's 90-something degrees outside, 100 degrees outside, and you have to keep replenishing it. This, I throw on, I have my solar generator, I have a solar panel out. I don't know if you saw it in the background of this video or not, but I have it just laying on top of my truck. It's charging my solar generator while this is plugged in, and that's all you need. It's, you know, it'll last a long time, the battery. It won't drain out quick on you. You'll have it for more than a day, and you'll be good to go. Thanks, guys, for joining me on another video. See you next time.